One. All right. Welcome in to the huddle. You found us again. Shoot the gap, rabbit hole fantasy football focused show spanning the generations after the 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I normally introduce, but dude, before we introduce anything, it must be said, ding dong, the dick is dead. Someone got an old priest and a young priest, went down to NRG Stadium and exercised the curse off this city of Houston. Yeah, man, it finally happened. It finally happened, man.
Can we get that again for the people, please?
I love it.
All right,
And-
and this is the final time that whenever we refer to the Texans, we'll have to do this draw. Or at least that's our hope. That's our hope.
Let's get it again for good measure.
Yeah, so anytime I hit a drop, Connor will request that I hit it again.
I like to get repeats.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you guys been following the show, you know that we're based out of Houston, of course. Look at Connor's flag. That shows right there. And yep, there you go. Ethan wearing the number 4 jersey, dude, of the one and only Deshaun Watson. And but you see me wearing a Broncos hat, but that was because whenever they traded D-Hop away, I was like, no, dude, I can't do it anymore. I suffered enough, that was it. And I'm done. So I chose my second favorite city, actually probably my first favorite city, Denver. I love Colorado, and so I started cheering for the Broncos. And as soon as that happened, then the injuries galore and they went down to the toilet bowl. So that's what I do to these teams. So maybe this isn't a good thing. Okay. That now that I've always said that I would come back whenever Bill O'Brien was gone. Well, the dude is gone. So it's time.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
All
I'm
right.
back.
He's back.
Back being a Texans fan again.
I like
And
that.
with Bill O'Brien gone, you can
I love it.
feel the light. Feel the light. Yeah. So we got something really good going on now. Hang on. Yeah. So okay. Go and talk, guys, real quick.
Holla.
Yes. Talking.
Okay.
Swing.
Yeah, I got something.
Swing
Seems
better
like my headset doesn't agree with this thing, but whatever, man. We'll get it going. In fact, let's go and do this. Connor, or actually, let me introduce. Hi, I'm Brian, your MC, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, and it's my honor, it's my pleasure to introduce Ethan, the Doc Marshall. How you doing, Ethan?
I'm all right. I actually have 3 fantasy games that are all contingent upon the outcome of the game that's currently on right now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
So if
God!
I'm just you'll have to forgive me.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And of course, the man over there, the one that just beat me in our match that took probably a record of was it 2.5 hours, I think it was, and that's when you spanked me and sent me on my way.
Thank you, Joe Mixon.
No, screw you, Joe Mixon.
Joe
That's
Mixon
Connor,
is awesome.
the gut Marshall.
And my gut told me to start Joe Mixon, even though he was freaking injured on Friday and he'd sucked all year. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start Joe Mixon. I trust him, and he, I don't know like what happened, but obviously he felt my feelings, and he was like, Connor believes in me. I'm gonna go out and play the best game I've ever had.
Well,
Yeah.
if you look at, I mean, we've only had 3 games so far.
This is true.
Like if you look at Mixon and you look at Jacobs, they've essentially done similar things so far. It's just one did it his game was the first game of the year. The other guy didn't do it until the 4th game, but they both got putting up similar numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah, but man, I it's interesting. It's interesting because first of all, dude, you got lucky. You got lucky because your guys didn't come out, and Eckler got injured, so that helped you out. And also, I reasoned that a healthy DJ Moore was better than a gimpy Kareem Hunt, which was obviously, a wrong move. So you can see how my gut works. In fact, that should probably be my my new nickname, like a 6-pack, because I have no gut, type of thing. So maybe that's what I should be. But But yeah, so if I would have started Brady, which I didn't do, and if I would have started Kareem Hunt, dude, I think we'd have a different outcome. But whatever, dude. But you know what? It was a lesson. I did learn. I learned that I'd rather lose with Tom Brady giving me 9 points in my lineup than lose with him giving me 33 points on my bench. Because he's capable of both each week. So
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that. I learned that DJ Moore's absolutely is a matchup dependent. But Stephon Diggs isn't.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not even TD dependent. I mean, that guy, and also I learned that the Lord gives and he takes away. I mean, I was sitting there watching the Chargers game and about less than 5 minutes. And whenever I watched, Austin Eckler pull up and go down, I was hoping that it was a cramp, and no, man, that was not a cramp. Um, I get this alert, that Chubb went down, and that's an awful thing for Chubb owners. But again, I have Kareem Hunt, so it's almost like I can, Lord willing, it keeps it the same. I'll be able to go and switch them around. So it was interesting. So the one thing that like one salve that'll make a loss better is knowing that all of a sudden you got an elite RB1 or what should be an elite RB1. So it's not that bad.
And good news this morning too with Tennessee. No one testing positive today, so that's good news for any Titans and Bills owners for week.
Holla.
Yeah. I have two. I have one of each, and and on each team. So that would have been not cool, but yeah. So man, that worked out. Yeah. So, before we go any further, let's thank the supporters of the show. First. In fact, let's switch it up. Let's start with Sports Host app. Why don't you talk about it, Connor?
It is the premier app for the global sports community. And speaking of which, shout out to the Bo Jackson League. Totally won my game this week. Oh.
Wow. And the other one is High Volume Music Radio, man. Yeah, download that app. There's a radio station, highvolumemusicradio.com. It's the pride of Sunnyside. Okay, it's a local radio station. You'll be helping out a local DJs. There's tons of information on there. There's a lot of information shows. There's a lot of funky music, just great music on there 24/7. So download the app, High Volume Music Radio, the pride of Sunnyside. You'll be happy that you did. And of course, as you guys are watching, three generational beefheads just bantering about. Ethan, what should they do?
What do you mean? Oh, they should subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you receive alerts every time that we release a new video, and make sure and like this video as well.
Hey, yeah.
Subscribe,
There you go.
beefhead.
There you go, man. So this is the
Come on, man.
so this is the Chuck Woolery show, man. 2 and 2. It's our 22nd show, man. So everybody that grew up watching the dating game, man, they got that, So October 5th in this foul year of our Lord. But we'll be doing our week 4 review show. So that's where but before we jump into that, Ethan, we got to talk about the Reaper meter, man.
Yeah. I don't have the cowbell thing set up, so I will make the sound with my mouth. Conk, conk, conk.
You gotta keep going. Keep going.
Conk, conk. All right, that's it. Man, let me gather my thoughts for a second on this.
Sure. Yeah, let me explain what it is. So the Reaper meter, basically, what we used it first to see if there was actually going to be a season. Okay, and of course, season's happening. We're in it, right? And so now we're using the Reaper meter to see if how long the season's going to go. If it's going to go the whole season, or if it's going to be a work stoppage. And we used to go 1 through 5. Last time when Connor and I were talking, if you caught the Start Sit show, which we're calling Cease and Ceasefire, or Fire and Ceasefire, excuse me.
Shooter ceasefire.
Oh, jeez, he's always arguing. Okay, and so jerk, and so you'll know that we were at a 4. Okay,
we were at a 4.
Yeah, because the Titans, dude, they just wouldn't stop becoming up positive.
I'm not at a 4. I mean, I'm not like at a 1 or anything, but I'm not at a 4.
Okay, so you're somewhere between 1 and 4. What number would that be, Connor?
I'm at a 3.
3.
I'm at a
okay.
3.
3. All right. And Ethan. Doc.
I'm at a 2. I'm at a 2. There's one important thing that I think people aren't talking about right here, and that's Minnesota never came up with any positives. So the concern about spreading between teams, this little brief, the small case study that we have so far shows us that it doesn't spread as easily between teams, or you don't necessarily have to expect it. And we also seen that because of the protocol set in place for teams like in New England, Cam Newton didn't spread it to anyone else. So whatever they're doing seems to be working. So I'm actually coming out of this, though I'm a 2. I'm pretty optimistic because they seem to have handled this pretty well. It did make fantasy kind of a nightmare for a couple days there, though.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, it was scary. It really was scary. I think the big thing is the fact that Titans, like you said today, they stopped they stopped having positives. So hopefully, like anybody that got it, is going to show now, and that they'll be able to return. I think what I read was that Wednesday would be, if there's no more positives, that they'll be able to go back to practice on Wednesday.
That's correct.
Which of course means that they'll preserve the game and with Buffalo, so everything will be all right, and so we don't have to do scrambling, but still have a plan just in case. These things are weird, they pop up, they're weird. So, but yeah, man, I'm probably I have to be at a 2. Yeah, because of the fact that it looks like they have something in place to handle it. And also I read that the NFL put out a new an actual new memo saying about there's going to be harsher like fines, and maybe even like draft picks and stuff like that if people are not adhering to it. They said it's mandatory. So yeah, so there we go. So the Reaper meter, we are at a 2.5 combined. Yes. Yeah. So, all right. So, I had this last time. So before we jump right into the wrap up, I do want to go ahead and just talk about something. The MASH unit, the but again, anytime that I have found, found a good way, to talk about something, to present bad news in a happy way. So again, I bring back Merry Early Christmas. All right. Merry Early Christmas, Joshua Kelly owners. Austin Eckler is going to be out from 4 to 6 weeks.
You think that the fumbling issues will get in the way of Joshua Kelly because he is coughing that ball up quite a bit?
Man, I thought a lot about that because Justin Jackson is a huge waiver wire thing that people are looking at, right? And I'm actually going hands off. First of all, I have Eckler, and I went and grabbed Chase Edmonds to kind of have some little depth. But the thing I'm worried about is it's going to be a committee, because I think I remember that whenever Melvin Gordon got hurt, like the first time whenever he was bell cow, I think 2 years ago, they had Eckler, and they did have Justin Jackson, and I think Eckler and Justin Jackson were kind of committeeing it, and that's what I think is going to happen. So I don't think they're each going to have any value, or as much value as you think, unless there's an injury that occurs. So yeah, that's my opinion. Merry Early Christmas, Kareem Hunt owners. Nick Chubb, he's on IR. He's going to be going out from 4 to 6 weeks. Merry Early Christmas, Chase Edwards owners. Kenyon Drake sucks. Connor, you called it. You called it from the top,
man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've always hated. You've always hated the Drake. Yeah, I mean, if you guys been watching the show, that's been a constant thing. Connor always eating and always hating the Drake. Yeah, so that's always been constant. Merry Early Christmas, Rob Gronkowski owners. OJ Howard, he's done for the season, so that's one less mouth to feed. And I think that he actually got a long reception, almost a touchdown in the last game when that happened. And the last one. Merry Early Christmas, owners of defenses that are playing against New England. Cam Newton has COVID, is going to be out for one more week at least. So start your defenses against New England, because if you didn't watch tonight, holy mackerel. Went from Brian Hoyer to Mr. Fast and the Furious himself, Jason Stidham, and it was going downhill the whole time. Yeah, so I mean, they completed passes, but just, to the wrong team, but details.
Well, they had a really good drive that ended in a turnover in the 10 zone, which is just inexcusable. And I mean, they had some other drives that they kind of stalled out on. So it's not like their offense didn't do anything. They just couldn't execute.
I think you should have left Hoyer in. There was
Yeah.
that with Hoyer at the end taking that sack at the end of the first half. He thought they had a timeout.
Yeah.
he got up trying to call a timeout. I mean, it was just, there was just bad play. So yeah, I agree with that. And I kind of, in retrospect, wish I had started Kansas City's defense in my league, not thinking about how the absence of Cam would affect it.
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind because you just automatically like you stay away from New England's offense because they've been a buzzsaw. But yeah, without Cam Newton, they're a lot different, and it also shows you exactly what Connor has always talked about. Bill Belichick. I mean, there is no, QB controversy. There's no QB battle. I mean, they're not even in the same atmosphere as Cam Newton. So the whole like training camp. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a battle and all that stuff. Yeah. More BS. But all right. Did I leave out any Merry Christmases, guys? No?
Nope. Not that.
All right. So let's on to the wrap up. Week 4 wrap up. I think that's you, Connor.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we are going to start with Thursday night football, which was the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. And this game was actually a lot more high scoring than we thought it was going to be, guys. 37-28.
Yep. They definitely made the over on that one.
The return of Crowder.
Yes, and Crowder did great. I mean, I wouldn't say great, but I mean, it gave you exactly what you were expecting out of a floor play. That's what is appealing about him.
It was exactly the same performance from week 1 minus a touchdown. Seriously, dude. If you had added a touchdown onto his score, it'd have been exactly what he made week 1. So that's what he is. He's really productive, and he's something that Darnold is looking at. But again, that's against the defense of Denver, which after all, it's just been ravaged.
Speaking of ravaged of injuries, I don't think that the Jets or the Broncos really had that much to offer on offense. Offensively for the Broncos, Sutton's obviously out for the season, so really it's only Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant right now. I mean, Gordon had a wait, what?
Gordon had a monster game.
Yeah, Gordon had a monster game, but I was talking about the receivers.
Tim Patrick.
Yep.
Kind of, but I mean, his play is going to
be
a monster
sporadic.
Game. No, what I'm saying is like that's great. The same reason why that guy from Dallas last week had a monster week. He did
Cedric
not do
Wilson.
he did not do the same thing this week.
Right.
And David Moore had a really good week in Seattle this week, but
did he ever?
Competition at the wide receiver position that you do in Dallas. I mean, Dallas, you got Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb. And then this other guy, like who else steps up in the wide receiver core? I mean, I guess Jerry Jeudy, maybe
that's
Noah
what
Fant.
I'm saying, yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be KJ Hamler, but he got hurt, I believe. Yeah, so yeah, it's Noah Fant, Tim Patrick, and Jerry Jeudy. And
you could say Hamler's hammy is hampered.
Was it?
That's good. That's actually
I don't
really
know. Good. Thank you.
Did you work on that, or was that off the cuff?
I was off the cuff, man.
Oh my gosh, straight out of the gut, right there, dude.
That's how it goes.
That's awesome.
Moving
Great,
on.
man. Yeah. There's not much more.
No.
Like the only thing I would say is that the biggest disappointment was the Denver defense. They were supposed to be the stream defense of the week, but it turned out I think New York did better. So, that's the only thing I'd want to say.
So the next couple, this was actually a high-scoring week, especially for the first 6 games we're going to talk about. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals battled it out. It was the battle of the cats. Who was going to become victorious, the Bengal or the Jaguar? And today it was Baby Tigers. The Baby Tigers were victorious. 33-25. Joe Mixon was the entire offense, scored all of the touchdowns, ran for 2, caught for 1. He was awesome.
30 touches, man. Rushed for 141 yards and had 6 receptions for 30 yards.
So I freaking hope that the coach understands that their first win comes from them using Joe Mixon, not Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Giovanni Bernard was, he was an afterthought. But
As he should
one,
be.
one thing I was thinking about was that, so Mixon ran all over the Jags. Gaskin ran all over the Jags. What does that say about the Titans? Okay, I mean, because the Jaguars defense, they stuffed Henry. I'm a Henry owner. I think Ethan, you're a Henry owner in one of your leagues, so you know what I know. I mean, like, he barely produced. I don't think he even got double digits. I mean, so is that Titans? What do you think that is?
He did get double digits, but it was only like 11 points. I remember.
Okay.
But
So
that doesn't take away from your point, but
yeah, what do you think? Yeah,
No,
good. Okay.
no, because I thought about this. This is because that one lineman opted out, dude. Remember we talked about it? Like there was that one of their starting linemen opted out. We were like, huh, how big of a deal? So I guess now we know. It's nothing against Henry. It's just, with a guy like Henry, you need a good line, and when some of your linemen opt out, your run game isn't as good.
Wow. So by default, you're saying that the Miami and Cincinnati line is better than the Titans. Yeah? Is that what you're saying?
I think it could be a combination of their line not being as good and them not preparing.
You think that's what it is?
I
That
think
they
that's
just
what
really,
it is.
They're really prepared for Tennessee, and then they're like,
Well, if you're the Jaguars, you're like, look, we're not getting on another highlight reel.
Okay. All right. You back that up there, Ethan?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gaskin did all right against Jacksonville. I'm still not too concerned, because think about what Joe Mixon, like what we were all saying, like Connor, you were thinking about trading him before
This is very
that
true.
game. So once again,
You're welcome.
we're
You're
a quarter. Yeah, we're a quarter of the way through the season. We're starting to get an idea. Defenses are shaping up a bit more. These games are. I mean, some of them are getting away from people, but I'm still not gonna. I'm not out on Henry yet. I don't think that.
Yeah. Ethan, one catch for 3 yards, 5 targets. Okay, that's one person. Okay, one catch, 3 yards, 5 targets. Okay, here's another one. Okay, 4 catches for 77 yards. Which one's AJ Green and which one's T Higgins?
The one for very few is AJ.
The one that did better is Higgins.
Can you believe that? Yes, you guys are right.
Kind of like Hilton in the Colts. I mean, it's just like the older dudes aren't getting the love.
Yeah.
You saw Pascal getting a ton of love. Well, not a ton, but more than Hilton. So
Is Green droppable?
I'm definitely benching him.
Yeah. Okay.
It depends on who's available on waivers.
Okay.
And
Yep.
if there's he who can pair Green with someone else for a trade or something.
Jerry Judy or AJ Green?
Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
I'll go with Judy.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's it. Connor, MVS or AJ Green.
AJ Green.
Wow. Okay. So those were like the hot, and well, I mean, I'm not even gonna ask Preston Williams because he was one of the ones that kind of I just laid a nice little.
Hey
just one
Brian,
little turd. One little turd.
didn't I beat you?
Only by luck, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, look at
a guy
me.
named Joe Mixon.
Right. It took steroids for it to beat me.
And a guy named Austin Eckler too. I mean that.
Yeah. Eckler, dude, that's kind of rubbing Eckler's injury in my face. So come on, man, a little class. All right, moving on, James.
Maybe don't make excuses.
No, it's not excuses. But I will tell you, I messed up on the Kareem Hunt thing. Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, and
I told you to start him, and you didn't. So,
well, dude, you're my competition.
Let the record show.
How are you gonna listen to the guy you're playing?
No. I mean, no, dude. I mean, I went with what I was going, but thank you. James Robinson, man. He's still the workhorse, man. 18 carries for 76 yards, and he got he was the only Jaguar running back to see carries, man. Yeah. Yeah, and he was also the only one to see targets for, and he ranked fourth on the team in routes run, dude. I mean, this guy is not slowing down.
And he
When's he
also
when's he
is.
supposed to bust out, Connor? Because you're the one who said that he's not going to last.
You know what? He might be. I might be wrong about him.
Whoa.
Texans next week. So
Yeah,
I like.
I don't think he's stopping next week.
No. No. Well, no. Yeah.
I think Minshew, yeah, and all of them are good next week. So
Yeah. We'll cover that in the start sit fire ceasefire. And all right, DJ Shark, Ethan.
and he did great on my bench.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
If he was in right now, the game that I'm in would be over.
Yeah, dude, 9 targets, 8 catches for 95 yards. You got to be happy about that, man.
Yeah, at the very least, he's back. We know he's healthy. We know him that Minshew still has a special place in his heart for him. So I'm loving what I'm upset he's not in the lineup, but at least he's going to be next week.
Yeah, Laviska Chenault, Connor. What do you think about him, dude? He's still running fewer routes than Keelan Cole, but he's had 9 catches. 9 carries. I mean, he's had 9 carries on the year. 9 carries of the year, dude. So he's one of those running backs or wide receivers that you like, the ones that run. So is that somebody that you keeping an eye on?
Yeah, I mean, my eyes are elsewhere. I think you guys both saw the pickup I made tonight, right?
Whenever you picked up Ruggs and then picked up Ayukin,
as the doc has christened him. We will continue to call him because we think it's awesome.
Yeah, Chenault. One more thing on Chenault. He's averaging 11.6 fantasy points per game, so that's pretty righteous, man. Yeah, so Connor's favorite part of each review. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. The Cleveland Steamers and the Dallas Cowgirls battled it out in the battle of the teams that are just chaotic.
Browns are doing pretty good, dude.
Yeah, but will it last?
Okay.
So the Browns won 49-38, and Odell had 3 touchdowns on the day. So he really does have a number that he prefers over number 2. It's number 3. That's Odell's favorite number.
Number 3. What exactly is the number 3, man?
You have to ask Odell.
Yeah, to ask Odell.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think was important about this game was seeing that the wide receivers can be of some value and that they can get into a shootout and play up to, bomb game and still come out ahead, which is, and also we learned that you should just play anyone in the passing game for the Cowboys and you'll probably get some decent points either in the flex or the wide receiver too.
Yeah. In this game, man, it was unfortunate what happened to Chub. But it's a 4 to 6 week, I think, injury. And there was a guy that stepped in during, Ernest Johnson, and a lot. I know that I've been hearing a lot like, oh, that's the next pickup and everything like that. I don't think that he's going to be like a high volume guy. I think that the reason why he was high volume this time was because Kareem Hunt was being eased into because of the groin thing. So, and also I think that after Chubb got hurt, Stefanski was like, okay, I have one elite RB. Okay. So he's a little gimpy right now. Let me just go and take it easy with him. But I think the next game, even though it's against Indianapolis, I think he's going to do really well. I think he's a really good starter. But Schultz, yeah, man, Sergeant Schultz. All my Hogan Hero fans know what I'm talking about. I know nothing. Dalton Schultz. How about him, guys? I mean, what do you think about him?
Once again, I mean, I just said it about the receiving core for Dallas Cowboys. I think this is what we were expecting. out of Jarwin. But
Yes, exactly
you
right.
know, didn't
Hmm.
happen because he got injured, and Schultz stepped up, and that's great. I would have been. I'm actually looking to pick him up in one of my other leagues after this week. I've given up on Evan Ingram and pivoting.
Well, dude, that's a great pivot if he's out there. Gallup, dude, what are you doing about Gallup?
Starting him.
Yeah, he got 3.9 points, man.
Yeah, man, he's gotten way more in other games.
One game. He went 6.5 and half point, 6.8, then 22.8, and then now 3.9.
So what are we seeing? Every Cowboys wide receiver is inconsistent, and if anything, CeeDee Lamb is the most consistent.
Right. Yeah, but I'm
Which
just
is
saying
so
that.
you're right technically. Yes, because that's what you said was going to happen at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was just asking you what you do with Gallup because a lot of people have him. I wasn't attacking.
Well, no. I'm just saying if you've drafted Gallup, if you drafted Cooper, if you probably don't. If you have a guy on your bench that's scoring more than them consistently, I would put the other guy in. Let me put it that way. But if you don't have an option and there's nothing good on the waivers, like I wouldn't pick up Ayukin and then put him in over Amari Cooper.
You would not?
I would not do that.
Okay. Even after you're watching that awesome jump.
Even after.
Okay. Ethan, you were saying?
Cooper's had decent games. I mean, he's never had a week winning week, but I mean he's giving you floor plays, which is it's good. He's not like a DJ Moore or someone else you took probably higher than him who has been busting. I mean, look at Godwin and Evans over the last couple of weeks. They aren't giving you the same consistency.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I mean, I up until further notice, I mean, you probably would want to start, Cooper. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Gallup, I'm nervous about, but Lamb, I would definitely start, and I would start Schultz. Zeke's not doing as well as he used to be. Any theories, Connor?
He's playing kind of meek and kind of bleak, and his stats are starting to reek. I don't get why everyone was so
Put that
high
to a
on
beat.
him. I knew that he wasn't gonna be this top 3 guy.
Yeah, we've been talking about it, but we thought it was Pollard that was going to take away. But what do you think? What do you think's happening, Ethan? Any theories?
No, I think that there's just the line isn't getting the same push. They're not dominating the way they have historically, and when you have that kind of issues, it's not, and they're playing from behind so much. I mean, look at what happened with Seattle. Look at what happened with Atlanta. I mean, all of a sudden they're in a double-digit deficit, and they're airing it out. He just isn't getting the
Right. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Would you agree, Connor? You got anything to add on that? Nope.
No,
Okay. No,
sir.
you don't agree. Okay.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Cool. Your favorite part? Moving on.
Next, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Detroit Lions, and this was a good game, 35-29. And for any of you who streamed Latavius Murray, you were happy because he had a couple of rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. In fact, let me I want to play a game real quick.
Voldemort.
Well, hang on. So who benefits the most from an injury? Okay, to this person. Okay, so I'll start with you, Connor. Who benefits the most from an injury from Michael Thomas?
Kamara. Kamara.
Well, Kamara, okay, and on the wide receiving corps, you're right. I should have been more specific. Wide receiver, who benefits the most?
Old man Manny Sanders.
Okay, this isn't working. It's Traquan Smith. Okay.
It's not though. I know he did good this week, but that's an outlier stat. He's done that for years. He'll have like a couple really good games and he'll suck the rest of the season.
Okay. Well, I mean,
the last couple of weeks,
he got 2 touchdowns, dude. I mean,
I know, but let me say this: if he scores a touchdown whenever Michael Thomas is back, when Michael Thomas gets back, I understand starting him if you have Michael Thomas and you need a stopgap and you don't have Emmanuel Sanders. I get that. What I'm saying is, like, for me, like, I'm not gonna go out and pick up Traquan Smith because I don't think he's gonna last when Michael Thomas gets back.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if this is a sell high, so you just
This
answer
is
that
a
question.
sell high, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ethan. Okay. Who benefits the most from an injury to Jared Cook?
Mm. In the receiving core?
Uh-huh. That's right. Because you can't say Kamara each time because everybody knows.
That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Emmanuel Sanders, actually. Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders has gotten 36% of the target share, and he got 93 receiving yards with Jared Cook out. So yeah, that's the one that is benefit the most. And then the last one, Connor, who benefits the most from an injury to Drew Brees?
Voldemort.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna say well,
Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill. Yeah. I'm trying to be more like, clever with pulling them out instead of just straight up like who's Taysom Hill, and so
But see,
yeah.
I just like explicitly yelling it and getting on with it.
Yeah, but
But
let me have my fun.
there is Jameis Winston, mind you.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
Mr. Projectile Dysfunction was ever to leave the field.
Good. Yeah, that's a very solid point. So we're talking about Jared Cook, the rookie Adam Troutman, Colonel. Colonel Troutman. Yeah, I guess you got Rambo fan. Yeah, that's the Colonel Troutman. Yeah. Okay, sorry, man. Yeah, Adam Troutman, tight end. Would you pick him up?
No.
No? Yeah, he gave a goose egg. He only
Yeah.
ran 13 routes, dude. So good job on that. So anything on the New Orleans side of the ball you guys want to talk on? Because if on Detroit, TJ Hawkins, 4 targets, man, but 2 of them were end zone targets. Do you like TJ Hawkins still, Connor?
I'm not picking him up, but I'm keeping him on my watch list just to
Yeah?
see if
Okay.
I mean, things happen, injuries happen, receiving cores. There might be a reason to own him.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. You were talking about what's available on the wire. If Schultz is, well, let me ask you, Schultz or Hawkinson, who would you start?
At this point, Schultz.
Look at you. Do you feel the same, Ethan?
Schultz.
No, or just about Hawkinson. Just talking about Hawkinson.
Oh, Hawkinson. Yeah, I'm a fan of Hawkinson. It was Hawkinson or Schultz, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that was what I asked Connor. But I wanted to, just throw this out there that he's had 4 end zone targets over the last 2 weeks, and he's tied with Greg Olson for the most at the tight end position.
Well, for 2 weeks ago, there was no Galladay, and so Galladay's back. So I would want to see how that's affected by.
You're saying that's what's doing it? Yeah.
Because Galladay is a massive in a red zone target. That Stafford has loved throwing to. So, I'd want to see that before I make that call.
Hawkinson or Jimmy Graham?
Hawkinson.
Wow. Okay. All right. Anything else to other than DeAndre Swift had a game finally, so he finally produced a little bit. So just mess with everybody's heads. I think last time I looked, Adrian Peterson had like 9 point something points, and Smith had 13.6 or something like that points and a half point PPR. So what do you do with that, Connor? What do you do with that backfield?
You divest your assets from it.
Yeah, so it's the Swift thing is not anything. It's like, oh, maybe I should pick it up if I have a spot on the end of my bench or anything like that.
Look, man, if you want to, yeah, but I don't think you're going to get to the championship doing that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on.
Speaking of
Kenny Galladay, did we mention how awesome Kenny Galladay is?
Kenny G.
Yeah.
As smooth as he is explosive.
Yes, and Marvin Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's Kenny G.
Yeah,
Marvin
him and
Jones.
Drew Brees are in the same club.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks and the Miami Dolphins in the classic battle of the sentient birds of the sky versus the sentient dolphin. Some people view them as the humans of the sea. No. Miami Dolphins.
Dropping all this crocodile hunter knowledge. Look at you, dude. That's fantastic, man. Hey, there we go. There we go. Yeah, it sounds just like it. So, Connor, you had a lot invested in this game. You went
Just
and
like
picked.
you had a lot invested in the game you were playing against me, but neither of us got what we wanted.
Okay, but yeah. So I was just asking about like about how about the feeling of having
Oh,
Preston
you
Williams.
mean because I had Preston Williams and Mike Gesicki?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that
I'm
was
not.
another jab at
Dude,
Preston
I am
Williams.
not. I am not. I mean,
Well, you already took two.
look, dude. We can talk it out afterwards, dude. We'll give you. We'll try to give each other a COVID hug. Whatever that is.
That is
So
the problem. We can't hug nowadays.
that's right. That's right. That's
Okay,
right. So
all jokes aside,
yeah, go for it.
Preston Williams should be dropped by anyone who has him.
3 targets. Yeah, and he was in a smash spot, dude. He was in a spot where you can.
But I will say once again, keep him on the watch list. That just because you don't have someone on your team doesn't mean what happened. Did something happen?
Yeah, Falcons. Julio Jones is out for the game with a hamstring injury.
Moment of silence for our boy Julio.
For the hammy. Julio's hammy.
Yes, well, that means that I won a game. One of my games is won.
Hopefully, unless Russell Gage starts
It's all about you,
tearing
Ethan.
shit up.
It's all about you. Yeah, it's all about you.
If y'all had a game that was 3 games hinging on this game, you'd be paying.
Well, and to be fair to his credit, Ridley was banged up during this week, so that must feel good to have him be healthy right now.
Yeah, I wonder if Ridley's doing something now, so Emord can win this game.
Yeah, the thing about Ridley though is that Ridley hasn't done much so far. He had 3 targets, no catches. But Ridley didn't do much last week when there was no Julio Jones. So Julio Jones going out might not be good for him either.
That's very true. But
Yeah.
did he have Russell Gage last time Julio was out?
I think for like half a quarter because he got knocked out with a concussion. He got concussed. Yeah.
Who knows then? So the David Moore had a couple of touchdowns. Chris Carson was awesome, and
Tyler Lockett though, man, he had a down game.
DK had a decent game. It wasn't crazy.
Well, I mean, going from like averaging 24.6 fantasy points to getting 5.9, that hurts. That's ouchy. That's ouchy.
There's always going to be regression.
He ran the most routes. That's what's going to happen. And David Moore was the man, so that's who they left open. But yeah, you're right, dude. That whole Chris Carson thing. I mean, how about people that went out and if you're on a one of those free agent budget leagues, where you have to pay out to get a free agent, if they paid a lot to get Carlos Hyde, thinking that Chris Carson was going to be out because of the knee, he wasn't the one that was out. It was Carlos Hyde. It's exactly what you talked about, Connor. Whenever you said that you followed Rashard Penny, you're like, no, Penny was out way before Carson was. It's the exact same thing. You said that, dude. You called that last week or maybe even 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So that's crazy, man. The gut got it right that time. Speaking of another gut pick, you were talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, dude. I mean, he didn't throw a single touchdown, man, but used his legs. Little old man did his
legs.
Yeah, he did the old man jig,
Harvard,
dude.
The old man jig, and he got 23 points in fantasy, something like that.
Yeah, 21 plus points, and he got that was 47 yards and a touchdown rush. So he rushed for a team leading 47 yards. Yeah,
take that, Myles Gaskin and Joho.
Well, Myles Gaskin, dude, 13 touches, but he only got 7.7 points in a half-point PPR, man. How do you feel, Doc, if you're if you're an Ethan owner, if you're a Gaskin owner?
They're playing a team that hasn't given up a ton in the run game. Where you can tear up the Seahawks is in the secondary, not so much in the run. And so I'm not too worried. Gaskin did fine last week. If I have to start him in the flex, I feel okay starting him.
So you're saying buy low. That's a buy low candidate.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. He's
getting most of the touches,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately over Connor's love target, original love,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Breida.
Yeah, but he was right. Connor was right about not putting in Joho or Jordan Howard. Yeah, that was a good move. All right, Connor, you guys got anything more to add?
No.
Nope.
Moving on.
The Los Angeles Chargers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers battled it out 31-38 for a total score of 69. Pretty
Ayo.
Tampa. And Tom Brady threw 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. On my
a
bench.
lot of them were downfield. He wanted to show. He wanted them to all see that he's not just a system QB.
Well, he did throw. I think he actually threw one more touchdown than you're giving him credit for because he had that pick 6.
He threw 6
and that looked
touchdowns.
nice. That was good. I mean, it was right on target, and the receiver got it right in stride to get right in there for that touchdown.
So, see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when someone performs well and they're on your bench. You get so mad at them that you find ways to nitpick up at them when they throw 5 touchdowns.
Well, see, the thing is, dude, is I'm stuck with the curse of Brady. Okay, I have to play him now. I can't, like I said in the beginning, that I'd rather lose with him.
You did say that if you don't start him, that's when he does really
Yes,
good.
but see, the thing is I'm just gonna have to do that. I just either lose with 9 points from him, or or lose. Better than that than him being on the bench for 33, which he's capable of. So.
Yeah, against a venerable Chargers defense.
Without Godwin and without OJ Howard, I mean, yikes. So. But yeah, Justin Herbert though, man, how about him, dude? 290 yards, dude. It did break his streak of 2 straight 300-yard passing games, but 290, come on, man. Yeah. And dude, he loves Keenan Allen. That's his focus, dude. So he really did. So who do you think? Ethan, I'll ask you, Connor, because I think I asked Ethan this already. Austin Eckler, man, what do you think is going to happen with Joshua Kelly, Justin Jackson, and all that stuff? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. It's not pretty. It's not something you want to be a part of. It's something you want to turn around and run away from.
Okay, so you're saying, like, just stay away from all of it, from that backfield.
I mean, dude, neither of them are a true Awesome Wreckler type. They're not that guy that you just walk through and be like, geez, like, he's different. Like, I feel like he just wakes up in the morning and pisses excellence. You know what I mean? Like Joshua Kelly, Justin Jackson, they're just guys. They're not Awesome Wrecklers.
Would you say Rojo's an Awesome Wreckler?
I would say Rojo is a Joho with a little bit of a steroid.
Yikes!
Yeah.
How about that? How about try to give a review like that, Doc? That rhythmatic. Come on, So. Yeah, so I mean, like, how about? I mean, like, he rushed really well, dude. I mean, 111 yards, dude.
Look, can I rephrase that?
Sure.
Rojo's a Joho who is less slow, but he needs to grow as a player because his pass blocking is not.
Dude, you're like Dolomite. You're the fantasy football Dolomite. That's who you are, dude.
From Parks and Rec, where he does the flows, but he always goes a little too long with something that doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme. Yeah.
That was what he did at the end there.
Who needs to grow? Who needs to grow? I had it perfectly.
Yeah.
Do you sell Jones right now? With Fournette maybe coming back and McCoy.
I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That dude, those drops, they were terrible. I mean,
that's where the grow comes in.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's always had problems with, and you heard all through training camp he was working on that. Well,
let's holler back real quick because there's another guy that has had drop problems for a really long time. You know who I'm talking about, Brian. Monsieur Brian picked up Monsieur Marvez Valdez-Scantling and proceeded to try to trade him to other teams around the league. And he found that no one wanted him because he's had a drop problem for how long now, amigo? What would you say he's had a drop problem?
To be fair, I did have a trading partner, but I stopped the trade once I started. I mean, honestly, dude, this is what I did. I literally did this. That whenever I started reading more about MVS, I stopped it. I was like, dude, no, dude, I'm not going to trade this to you. No, man, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I mean, I was the one who pulled the trade back. I mean, the trade was kind of holding on by a thread to begin with at that point, but
who are you trading with?
It doesn't matter, dude. But the point is, dude, is that I pulled it back because of the fact that I was like, man, I'm not going to do this, And so,
and who dropped to do the trade that you probably would be better hanging on to?
Yeah, I dropped Jameson Crowder. I got too much in my head. Yeah, I got too much in my head. So.
What do we call that, ladies and gentlemen?
Faking the fake.
Faking the fake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happens, whenever you're still quarantined from COVID, and
You got too much time on your hands.
yeah, you go nuts, you go crazy, dude, you go crazy. Adam Gay size, yeah.
Crazy on you.
I'm sure my eyes look like that, dude. When I was doing it, like,
All right.
Kashawn Vaughn, Ethan, are you impressed? Do you care?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
I'm
All right.
not in that backfield.
All right, and who's going? Connor? You're good at these things. Who's going to do? Who's going to benefit from OJ Howard being out? Is it Gronk?
Ultimately, it's going to
Mhm.
be Chris Godwin, but in the interim, it's going to be Gronk.
Gronk. Okay, cool. All right, you guys got any more thing to add other than Mike Evans being his wide receiver one for self? I mean, you worried about the ankle?
You should be worried the next game.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Then your favorite part. Moving on.
The Baltimore Ravens and the Washington football team, known as WTF, played this Sunday, and it was a beautiful game, 31-17. And for the Antonio Gibson owners out there, you were kind of happy.
Are you, Ethan? You're an Antonio Gibson owner.
Yeah, I'm feeling better about having Antonio Gibson. You got him to hang on to him. You're waiting to see him getting worked in the passing game, and he did. Now, granted, his fantasy finish was one big play away from being mediocre. But that being said, it was against an excellent defense. So.
Yeah, it's pretty neat whenever Antonio Gibson got over 100 yards from scrimmage and Terry McLaurin got over 100 receiving yards. So that's usually a good recipe. But what about Lamar Jackson? I mean, what's your take on him, Ethan?
I mean, he was my preseason. I'm pretty sure if you went back in the episodes that I said Lamar Jackson was someone I was afraid of regressing. Kind of equal to the regression that Baker Mayfield had from his big year to the second year. They didn't fall. He didn't fall as low, but he fell as much. It's just Lamar Jackson was so extraordinary that even with a big fall, he's still a good option, but an option that you could have picked up in much later rounds.
Yeah, but he did. I think he rushed for over 50 yards, right? And he threw
He's
two
a running back, right?
Yeah, 2 passing touchdowns. You know who got the 2 passing touchdowns?
Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm. That guy either feasts or he famines, man. It's really interesting with that guy. And so, Connor, what's your thoughts on Ingram and Gus Edwards? Yeah, I guess you're the backfield guy because I keep coming to you for any backfield information. I guess that's what subconsciously.
I'm the backfield bro. I have to say it's kaput. It's Kaplinski. It's not kosher. It's kryptonite.
No Dobbins, no Edwards. I mean, you were all about the Dobby. Yeah, he's
No.
Dobby now. Yeah, he's not what you said. You said you're
dominator.
He's not. No, he's Dobby.
Once you beat me in an arm wrestle match, sir, you can say that. But until then, I hold steadfast to the claim that he's the dominator. But
his stats are Dobby. He could put Dobby in there. An elf could do better than him.
No,
dude,
but
an elf could do better than him.
Do you want me to say my point, or do you want to talk over me?
Yes.
Okay. So he's obviously not someone that you should be rostering right now, but I am putting him on the watch list because Gus Edwards and Mark Ingram can get injured, and that's the thing, guys. Is you can't feel like this is week 4, okay? You're not gonna go out week 4 and you're okay, this is how the season is gonna be for the rest of the year. You have to watch every week because people are gonna keep getting injured, things are gonna keep changing. What if Mark Ingram develops a fumbling problem? Or what if Gus Edwards develops a fumbling problem? If they fumble 2 times in a row in 2 consecutive games and they lose because of that, they might. Or what if they screw up a pass block opportunity? We always talk about that. Guys, are a couple of messed up pass block opportunities from being in the doghouse. So just what I do, with guys that I know are talented, but maybe the opportunity isn't there, I just put them on my watch list, and I just check in on them each week to see how they do.
Yeah, but you have to imagine people like Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins are not just sitting out there on waivers. Someone's got them on the bench. You
Yes.
have to trade for them.
It,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, JK is available in our league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Really?
He
Yes,
is.
but
Yeah.
that's yeah.
hmm Yeah. If you want to go grab them.
You want
But
to-
Ethan, rank the three running backs, dude, in order of how you'd want them. Ingram, Edwards, and Dobby.
And I haven't watched enough of the Baltimore games. I watched the Texans game. That game, Ingram had the big run. I know Dobbins finished higher than Ingram this last game, but I think I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with age, right? I'm going to go Ingram first, and then I'm going to go Dobbins, then Gus.
Yeah. Okay. Supposedly Edwards is known as the closer. Like whenever either the game's out of hand or they are ahead, they'll put in Gus Edwards. So I would probably switch it up right there. I would do Ingram and then Edwards and then Dobbins. But yeah. So one question I have about Antonio, Jay, are you worried about McKissick? I mean, he's involved in the passing game, man. He got 7 catches for 40 yards on 8 targets. I mean, does that concern you? Ethan, yeah, you're an owner. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not concerned yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting all those goal line carries, man. That's always a great thing. And you know what's interesting? Connor, I want to hear your opinion on this. A friend of mine is he owns Eclair, and he's wanting to trade Eclair, or he's got an offer, I think, of Eclair and Gordon for Zeke. It's a 3-year keeper league. Would you do that trade? Like you're trading away Gordon and Eclair, and you're getting Zeke back. And the reason, and let me ask,
Hell
I'm gonna
no.
wait for. Okay, no, okay, Ethan, would you do that trade?
Was he trying to make that trade, or was that trade offered to him?
That trade was offered to him. Yes, yes.
He needs to.
He wants Zeke. He's gonna get Zeke, and he has to give away Melvin Gordon, and
Eclair.
this is a keeper league.
3-year keeper league. This is year number 1 of a 3-year keeper league.
I don't do that trade. I don't.
Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to tell the guy, but he was telling me that he's worried because Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't do goal line work, and that he's not going to in his mind because he's more of a scat back. He compared him to Darren Sproles.
Is he a PPR? Is the league PPR?
No, it's standard. Yeah, I probably should have told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so his whole thing was like, well, if I can get Zeke, then that at least I get a goal line back,
Yeah.
But I was like, no, man. I was like, dude, what you're looking at with Clyde Edwards-Helaire is his floor. It's just gonna get better. But yeah, I was curious about that, and that's the reason why I brought it up, because of the whole goal line thing, and that's what Antonio Gibson is doing. He's doing goal line, which is something that you really want to see. You guys have anything else more to add on that one?
Nope.
All right, moving on.
The Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. They played, and the Panthers pounced on the Carolinas. Oh, geez, look, as a Kyler Murray owner, I was not happy with his performance. I know he salvaged it, but these are 2 games in a row that the Cardinals have just not looked good in.
Kyler Murray, yeah. But he runs, and so that's always a great thing. Whenever you have that, he's able to do that. But yeah, there's a point where he's like his interceptions to touchdown ratio are getting really too close for comfort. But we talked about him, Kenyon Drake. So we put him on the bench. Chase Edmonds, is that guy somebody you want to pick up? 5 catches on 6 targets.
I think
so. Yeah, so but check this out: the 5 catches on 6 targets that he did in this last game is equivalent to as many catches that Drake has had all season.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's somebody like do you hit the panic button with Drake, and would you trade Edmonds to the Drake owner?
I've not been big on Drake. I didn't pick him up in any of my drafts.
Emord did. Emore did.
Emore did. Okay. Well,
Uh-huh.
in drafts where I had total and complete control, great. But at this point, you don't know how much of it is. Now I've heard some analysis that talking about the scheme, how the scheme might not be currently benefiting Drake, and Drake's play. I say if you're a Drake owner, you watch this week. They have the Jets. If he does the same lackluster, disappointing performance, it's time to move on.
Connor, you're kind of an artiste in trading. You're really good at it. Would you trade Edwards to the Drake owner? And if you're the Drake owner, would you be interested in listening for a trade for Edmonds?
So you said Edwards and Edmonds in the same sentence, but I'm assuming you were trying to say Edmonds and
Oh, if I
not
did,
Clyde Edwards.
oh yeah, yes, you're
Okay.
100% right, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Yeah,
trying for
no,
Chase Edmonds. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, there are 4 players that I would target this week for trades, and Drake
Okay.
is definitely one of them. The other 3 are kind of obvious: Devonte Adams, Chris Godwin, and Nick Chubb owners. Those are the people that you can extort this week. You can get, because that's what you want to do. Yeah, I know. I mean, everyone laughed, right? But that's what trading is you want to extort someone, and you want to get something out of them that you shouldn't be able to. And they know it, but they also know that they're in a situation that their back's up against a wall and they don't have any other option. The problem is, like, 6 out of 10 people in a fantasy league are going to be those stubborn bastards that would rather go down losing every game of the year if it means not trading with you. So you got to hope that you find the 4 out of the 10 that actually want to trade with you.
I can tell you right now in our league that we're in together, that the Devonte Adams owner is open for trades.
I know.
I don't know if trading Adams, but he is open to listening to trades. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try shipping something to him.
I'd like to see what's going to happen. You're about to see some magic happen here, guys.
Also, I might add that if you're extorting people, that might explain why you're not getting any trades going.
This is very true.
Well, see,
that move.
Well, see, okay, look, I'm talking to, like, in my opinion, he's the master of trades. In fact, I'm trying to find a way to get you to pull out some tips, to help people like me who like in the middle of negotiating, I saw how my player that I'm trying to trade off is not a good asset, and I felt bad, and I was like, no, no, we can't trade, dude, because I would feel bad about it. I'm still reeling from like 2 years ago whenever I traded the Derek card for Patrick Mahomes. I still feel bad about that. So maybe I just don't have the wherewithal to do it, but that's why you're really good at that. But back to the game, Mike Davis, dude. If you're a Mike Davis owner, Ethan, are you worried about Reggie Bonifant?
No, Mike Davis had a great game.
Okay. All right. Okay. And Connor, if you're a DJ Moore owner, are you worried about Robbie Anderson or just life in general?
Yeah, I would feel better by owning Robbie Anderson than DJ Moore at this point.
You know what was interesting is that I looked up some stats because I was curious. All right. And he has the same stats as Juju Smith-Schuster with as far as targets and involvement. But the only difference is that Juju scored touchdowns. So if DJ Moore had scored touchdowns, you'd be looking at him like you do Juju Smith-Schuster because he's in the same spot because Deontay Johnson, he got 13 targets and 10 targets in the first 2 weeks. Robbie Anderson, hang on, Robbie Anderson got the same amount of targets in the first 2 weeks. So it's interesting.
I understand the argument you're trying to make, but there's a couple of screaming differences that just jump out to me right away. Juju is Big Ben's red zone weapon of choice. He was even whenever Antonio Brown was there, and he probably always will be, unless Chase Claypool or Eric Ebron really turn into a thing. But I don't think that's going to happen this season. And as far as the comp between them and the Panthers, Robbie, he's kind of the yards guy, and he's also he's getting open, man. I mean, DJ Moore, he's a physical wide receiver. He's good. He can do the zone sweeps. He can do the end arounds. He can do a lot of things. And I do think that he can do better.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel's the one that's doing all that mess now, dude. He's the one doing
But
all
they
the
can
zone
both
sweeps
do
and
it
end
because
rounds.
when they were both rookies, they could both do it.
Yeah, well, they like this Samuel doing it now, so
This is
yeah,
true.
yeah. Being a DJ Moore owner, just to go one step further, I am going to start him next week because he's playing against Atlanta, and I
Yep.
figured that if that, like I said, he's not matchup proof. This is a good matchup. Okay, so yeah, and so I'm going to start him probably to my detriment, but yeah, I'm 100% behind your analysis, Connor, on the situation. Yeah, because the Bridgewater is not really looking at DJ Moore. I don't know if it's people have it in their mind that DJ Moore is the wide receiver one, so defenses pay more attention to him and they leave Robbie Anderson alone. I don't know what's going on because like it's supposed to have been Drake or Patrick was supposed to be on more last week, but it was actually Patrick Peterson. So and they put Drake or Patrick on Robbie Anderson. That's why Robbie Anderson exploded. That's why everybody was saying, DJ Moore was going to have a great week was because Drake or Patrick was supposed to be on him. So maybe that's going to change now that it seems like there's a changing of the guard of Robbie Anderson actually becoming the wide receiver one and Moore being the two. So, yeah. So anything more to add on? We covered. Yeah. What about Bridgewater's run? Yeah, you got to mention that, dude. Yeah. Does that make you want to like go get Bridgewater? Like stream
No.
him for next week?
No. I have
Even
Aaron
though-
Rodgers and Kyler Murray, man.
I mean, no, just in general, dude. Not you specifically, just in general speaking.
In none of my leagues do I, even in the league that I have Drew Brees, I don't want to drop Drew Brees and go pick up Teddy Bridgewater. Mr.
Ethan.
Projectile Dysfunction.
It just depends on if I need a streamer and who else is available.
Yeah, like if you're like me, like I have Tom Brady and I dropped Jared Goff because screw that fool.
Don't you still have Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, I never. Emord
I'm
has
sorry.
Ryan
I'm
Fitzpatrick.
sorry, Ryan Tannehill.
No, I dropped Ryan Tannehill to pick up Goff. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you should pick Tannehill back up, bud.
I'll think about it, but right now I don't. That's what I'm asking. Like like you're saying Tannehill. So you're saying Tannehill over Bridgewater, even though Tannehill's playing against Buffalo and Bridgewater's playing against Atlanta.
I kind of like Bridgewater's chances now that you mention it. I didn't think about it, but he's got the Vikings and the Falcons, the Vikings. There was one other team that
I think like Miami.
Lions, Falcons, and so great teams, great matchups. Yeah, I like that. I haven't even considered it, but I think we all just assumed the Panthers were going to be crappy, and they're not. They're 2-2.
Yeah, that defense is doing a lot better than what people think. At least that's what Drake would say. Anything you had to add, guys?
Nope.
No. Moving on.
The Minnesota Vikings were victorious
Ooh.
over the helpless Houston Texans. And boy, oh boy.
We were rooting for the Vikings, my friends.
Yes, Hercules.
Actually, it's funny. I have one of my because I'm getting my PhD right now. One of my faculty advisors from Minnesota. She's a huge Vikings fan. We were both yelling "Skol" together. That's the only thing that I've ever done that in my life, but I was right there with her.
Were you doing Skull with her? I meant that.
No.
Let's do some Skol.
Yeah, but she's from Minnesota. I figure she's tough, Put a little chaw in your mouth there. But Justin Jefferson, Ethan, what's your thoughts on Justin Jefferson? Is he a breakout rookie or is it just a flash in the pan, man? What are you looking at?
He's doing good again. Texans secondary. I don't know how I feel about, basing too much on that, but it's 2 weeks in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, you're playing. I don't know who they have next week. I know the week after that is the Panthers. So I say keep rolling with him. If you've got him as a wide receiver 2 or in your flex and he's delivering, why stop? That's the obvious number 2 there. And if they're doubling up on Thielen, which they probably will be, there you are. That's the outside threat.
You agree with that, Connor? You got anything to add on Jefferson? You're usually good at reading rookie running backs. I mean, you just picked up 2 of them, So
No, I think Jefferson had a good week because he was against the Texans. I don't know, maybe he's gonna do it every week.
yeah. So you're not believing in it right now. You don't think he's moving on up? Thank you.
It's
I
just
get that one.
Thank you. I did that joke on the start sit, and Connor looked at me like I was crazy, and I got crickets. I was like, "That's a great joke." Thank
I
you.
don't.
Lunch when I was like 10 at home. Being home.
It doesn't matter, Connor. I apologize. I interrupted you, sir.
No,
Please
it's
continue.
good. It's just
Please continue.
Kirk Cousins only threw 1 touchdown, man. So I don't think that's an offense you wanted to be involved in, unless you have Thielen.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
Cook.
Okay. Yeah. And there was like a thing that was going on last week. Remember we talked about the start sit, Connor, about how they were talking about Cook, like his ankle. That he limped off the field at the end. And there was that thing that there was an actual theory that he was hurt, and that since they didn't have to practice, they weren't letting anybody know. No, dude, he's fine. He's fine. He's good. He's good. Will Fuller. Connor, let me ask you, dude, how you feel about his second 100-yard game of the season? I mean, he's got 23% of the target share.
Boomer bust. He's like a more injury prone T.Y. Hilton at this point. He's not really doing that much. He's just getting a lot of yards.
T.Y.'s not really doing that though, but I like the comparison. I like so how do you feel about Duke Johnson? You're an owner, Connor, of Duke Johnson.
I dropped him. So
okay.
there's my answer.
Okay. Well then, Ethan, David, if you're a David Johnson owner, would you be worried about Duke Johnson? Because he went from
the one team that I have, David Johnson. It was pretty slim pickings at running back. I had the 2 pick. I had Saquon, so he's gone. David Johnson sadly became my RB1. So I'm rolling with him now. I have no choice. I'm stuck with him. He hasn't been great, and Duke coming back does not make me optimistic. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, this last game, he went from running 30. David Johnson ran from running 30+ routes per game to just 15. Okay, and his also his percentages of carries also fell from 75% to 62%. This is just with Duke Johnson coming back. So yeah, I can see why you're a little nervy about it.
I will say that they were going 3 and out a lot on Sunday, which is going to affect the ability of whoever you have in that backfield to do anything if they're going.
Agreed. Do you think that's a product of Minnesota's defense getting better, or the Texans just not doing that good?
Considering, David Johnson had a decent game against Kansas City, who's been good against the run. I think that, man, I don't know. It's so hard to say. It's so hard to make that call because that first game, that was the first game of the year. So maybe the Kansas City D was just, not on their game. So, I'm just going to roll with it and hope that moving forward, now that we've been rid of the black hole in that offense, that maybe now that will open up. Yes.
Yeah, the black hole from the chin.
Yes.
Connor, one last question on this game. I'm curious, Duke. You're really good. Again, another thing you're good at. Jordan Atkins went down with concussion. Would you pick up Darren Fells?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Okay, that's all I got. Moving on.
The New York Giants and the Los Angeles Rams for the battle of the mediocre.
That was the game that we were expecting the Jets-Broncos game to be, and it ended up being the Giants and the Rams.
Yes.
Hang on, guys.
The other horned animal.
You gotta realize that we just saw after the game was over, we saw an episode of the lame and the restless, man. Jalen Ramsey and Golden Tate, dude, they were involved in a post-game fight. Those near midfield, and
Ramsey in a fight. What?
Yeah, supposedly it was stemming from whenever Ramsey hit Tate with a massive but legal hit, in the fourth quarter, but. All right. And even Ramsey was waiting for Tate outside the Giants locker room afterwards, but they never confronted each other. But this is what happened. All right. Okay. As that Ramsey has two children with Golden Tate's sister, Brianna. And Ramsey ended up ending the relationship with the sister whenever she was pregnant last year and started dating somebody else. So that's why it's a juicy, the daytime opera, the lame
I
and
feel
the
like I'm on
restless.
TMZ.
Exactly. Dude, I had to throw that out there because everybody was talking about the fight. Everybody's talking about the fight. So that's where it stems from. If anybody's curious about, all that mess, that's what happened. So yeah, it was an episode of a bad soap opera.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going on to stuff that's close to Doc's heart, Evan Ingram, 10 targets.
Nothing really.
Anybody in the Giants. Let's just do that. Ethan, would you get anybody on the Giants?
No, not at this point. The backfield's too murky. And even if we had a clear bell cow, that offensive line is garbage, which made Saquon, who was obviously the number one, it made it rough for him to get anything. So I'm kind of, I don't totally subscribe to the whole, if they're a bad offense, I don't want any of it. But in the case of the New York Giants, I do.
Well, Freeman, Devontae Freeman, he led all the running backs in routes, which was 21, targets in 4, carries and 11, and snap percentage at 53%. So he's the lead back. So that's kind of clear now there. But speaking of murky backfields, Connor, Darrell Henderson was the guy last week. Now it's Malcolm Brown. What's going on, dude? What do you think?
McVay doing McVay.
He thinks McVay is McVayin.
Is that what it is? I mean, like, if you can get in the mind. In fact, let me do that. Let me transport you into the mind of McVay. Okay, all right. It's actually happening. Holy mackerel. Okay, explain your action, sir. Explain your action, sir.
To have a running back by committee, and any guy could do good any week, and we don't know which guy it's going to be because, newsflash, they don't have an offensive line, and they don't have Todd Gurley. This isn't 2018, guys. Move on. The Rams aren't good like they used to be.
All right. And that's straight from McVay's mouth, everybody. Okay, he just channeled it. Yeah, I think you might have lost
what that was.
I think you might lost a connection, but there we go. Is there really anything more? I mean, Jared Goff golfed all over me, dude. I mean, so I'm staying away from that guy.
I'm sorry, Odell Beckham wasn't there to watch that.
That's crazy. Yeah, but there's not much. I mean, stay away from the Giants. Stay away from the backfield. Connor, you have Robert Woods. You tried to trade for Cooper Kupp at one time.
No,
What's your thoughts, dude? I thought you did, dude.
No,
yeah.
I've tried to trade for D-Hop and
you said
Adams.
the person rejected it. It was like at the beginning of the year, like you tried to trade for Cooper Kupp.
That must have. Oh, maybe I was trying to trade him like some Bantha fodder for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It wasn't anything good. So.
Maybe.
My point is what's your thoughts on the receiving core of that?
I'm not dropping Woods.
Okay.
I'm starting him. I'm starting both of those guys.
Higbee?
Yep.
Even with Everett running in the touchdown?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Ethan, do you concur, sir?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
If he's draft capital on Higbee, you better be starting him.
I'm nervous, but I'm also a little butthurt from golf. Moving on. Okay, yeah.
And these next these remaining games aren't actually that interesting, so we're just gonna blaze through them. The Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears played. This game was not close like the score says it was. The Bears scored a touchdown in garbage time, so really it was a one-sided affair all the time. I mean, they didn't even have to have the J train on, rushing duties the whole game.
Yeah, that's one thing you need to talk about is that don't be nervous about J Train. Okay, they're just trying to keep him fresh because it's a full year and they have the game under control. Okay, and that's unfortunate whenever you have a player like that in an offense or in a team that has a great defense like that. So that's what I think is going to happen. I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't be worried about it if I were you. what I would be worried about on the Colts is Mo Alley Cox, man. I mean, Jack Doyle is there, and Trey Burton's come back, and he got he got more target. They both got
Cox
more
still got a
targets and routes.
touchdown.
Yeah, that's what he's doing though. But that's all he's doing. He's like he ran 7 routes. That's it. Per game and catch a touchdown. It's difficult for me to get into that. I'm curious, Ethan. Connor loves the Cox. Do you love Cox as much as Connor?
No. No, when I look at Rivers throwing that ball and slinging it around, I don't want to invest in that receiving core because they're going to avoid passing as much as possible. And they've got a good enough defense where they're not going to be down,
Mm-hmm. Connor, would you drop TY?
No.
Okay. All right. And Darnell Mooney, he was the guy that came out from, might be the new choice for Nick Foles. No, Nick Foles pooped. Okay.
No, and actually, I said it that Foles coming in makes me higher on the weapons for Chicago. I am not as. I feel like both. I feel like I was just watching Trubisky play.
Yeah.
You
got hoodwinked. Real quick, Connor, David Montgomery, are you worried? What's your thoughts on it? No. Just a good defense that they went against.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Moving on.
So the Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders, they had a football game and the Bills won.
Nailed on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where I found out, that Stephon Diggs is not. He is matchup proof. Like he produced in this situation where you clearly can run against Vegas. Devin Singletary had a great game, and he still produced even without a touchdown. What about Gabriel Davis? He had more routes than Cole Beasley, and he brought his lone target for 29-yard touchdown. Does that make any of you guys excited? Ethan?
No, not really.
That was a nice Stevie Wonder. Liked it. Yeah. And Connor, you and I both liked Beasley. He suffered a foot injury. Are you concerned about Beasley? Would you even have Beasley?
No. Beasley can be benched and Beasley can be botched from your team strategy. He's not going to be, Yeah.
And Josh Allen is awesome.
He's awesome.
What's your thoughts on Josh, on the other Josh Jacobs?
I'm still starting him, man. I'm not wavering.
Is he somebody you're going to try to dangle to try to trade or anything like that?
No, I'm done trying to trade Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, and Jonathan Taylor. I'm rolling with those 3 guys, and I'm rolling with David Montgomery as my running back 4. I'll dangle Woods or Juju for Adams or Godwin, and I'll see what I can get with that. But I'm not touching my running backs because each guy has showed me flashes, being the respectively my 3 J-named running backs.
Gotcha. Yeah. Ethan, were you worried about Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, a little bit. The only time you saw him perform was against a team that just gives up career days in running backs. So I'm definitely concerned. I'm hit pretty hard. The team that I have Jacobs, I also have Henry. Threading here pretty much since week 1.
Mm-hmm.
But you drafted him where you drafted him, first or second round, depending. You roll with him, We're a quarter of the way through the season. Maybe they turn a corner. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. He ran 22 routes, man, 4 targets and, had 3 catches. That's the most among all the Vegas running backs, even though Gruden keeps on trying to throw running backs in there for some reason.
Screw you, Gruden.
Why? Josh Jacobs is awesome. But, so yeah, I agree with you, dude. Anything else more to add on this, guys?
Nope.
No.
Moving on. Philadelphia Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers. And this was the ugliest game of the week, in my opinion.
Well, Nick Mullins came out like hot trash. But, hey, George Kittle is bad.
Yeah, he's the man.
I love it.
Nick Mullins may be hot trash, but George Kittle is a piece of. I'm not gonna finish that, but we all know.
What about
What-
Zach Ertz?
Yeah, well, Zach Ertz, yeah, I heard someone breaking down. It was in the game, actually. I don't remember if it was Collinsworth, but someone pointed out it just seems like he's not open. Like he's not trying to get open. It's almost like him getting underpaid, or in his mind, getting underpaid is making him not try as hard.
Conspiracy theory. Let's get out the aluminum foil. Let's put it on our heads here. Yeah, there's something, but there's something up. And he was the second on the team in targets with 5, but he only got 4 catches for 9 yards. So yeah, dude, that doesn't sound like a normal Ertz thing, So why would he be doing it now whenever he could shine to make more money? I don't know, dude. Things in life is all about timing,
Well,
So.
it's about how are you going to be shiny if you're a speck on a turd.
Exactly.
Even though they got the win, it was ugly, and they only got it because San Francisco handed it to them.
Miles Sanders owner, that's you, Ethan. How do you
Yep.
feel?
I don't feel bad. I feel like, between he's my flex, essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine with that at this
Okay.
point.
All right. And now, how you feel about McKinnon, Connor? I mean, you had your eye on him a while. I mean, you dropped Jeff Wilson, which was a good decision.
I'm moving on from the Niners, except for Coleman, who's still in my IR.
There's a lot of talk about him getting passed over now. I mean, after this, but I think they always say stuff like that about.
Yeah,
McKinnon
but
IR.
it's. I mean, that's like my 5th running back on my depth chart. I'm not really too worried about it,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. And Carson Wentz, guys, how do you feel about him?
Same way. I mean, the dude wants to win,
Yeah.
obviously. And he found a way to make some stuff work yesterday, but I'm not starting him if I don't have to. I'd rather oh gosh, who were we talking about earlier? It was a streaming. Oh, I'd rather start Bridgewater than him at this point.
How do you guys? How do you feel about the former U of H quarterback turned receiver?
Yeah.
Greg Ward. Yeah.
Very fantasy relevant. Greg Ward, that is.
Good old Greg Ward. All right.
Yes.
You need more to add?
It would have been better to start Greg Ward than Calvin Ridley tonight. I can tell you that.
That is true.
Philadelphia's defense, though, I think they scored well. Yeah. I mean, it was. Yeah. I was looking at that. I was surprised by it. So yeah. Okay. Anything more to add on that?
Well, it helps when you're playing backup quarterbacks that are enjoying throwing the ball to the other team.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. All right. Any more games, Connor? We hit the list.
Well, that just leaves the 2 Monday night games. So right now, I don't know if the Packers game is over, but the Patriots-Chiefs game, which we got into, is already over. For those who didn't understand, Tyreek Hill got a touchdown, and
There you go.
he was pretty much the only guy that ate. Eclair got a little work done, but it wasn't really a big scoring night. So right now, the Falcons and Packers are playing, and the Falcons are up. I'm sorry, they're down by 14. And there's 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the fourth, so the Packers are going to win this game by all accounts. It looks like Aaron Rodgers, he's throwing 4 touchdowns of the night, which is awesome. I didn't need him to win me my fantasy night, but he made me win in a much cooler way.
So you're talking about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. Eclair, yes, that's what we call him, dude.
Yes, sir.
He scored like in the past month. Okay, it was 19.8, 10 points, 15.9, 10.6. Not exactly what you're hoping for whenever you drafted him. Is that
No.
somebody that you can try to trade for? You think,
I don't
or
think
would you
so.
want to try to trade for him?
I don't think you're trading Eclair if you own him.
Yeah, you're gonna hold off. Would you? What about you, Ethan?
Oh, I'm holding on to him.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, that's what I mean. Playing against a rough, like a good D,
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Beaks.
Yeah, and right now I think you gave the score on the Packers. Yeah, so 30-16. Yeah, so which is interesting. Okay, yeah, 4 minutes left to play. All right, so that was it. Okay, so I think that will conclude the week 4 wrap up, everybody. The one thing I did wanted to, since this is always we're doing this on a Monday, so you guys will get on Tuesday, and of course, if you have that darn waiver wire, then I mean, you got to look at what's the waiver priority. So I'll just go ahead and go down the line back and forth just like I normally do, and you guys give me either a high, medium, or low, which you would prefer whenever I give you a name on the waiver priority list on this guy. We'll start with you Connor. How about Dearness Jackson, the dude from Cleveland?
Oh, I'm good.
So you're saying low, right?
Low.
Okay. All right. And Ethan, Justin Jefferson.
Medium.
Medium. Okay. All right. And Connor, Justin Jackson.
Low.
And then Ethan, Justin Herbert. You see what I do there, Justin?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Low.
Low. Okay. All right. And then Connor, Chase Edmonds.
High.
Okay. And Ethan, Dalton Schultz.
High.
Okay. Connor, Jimmy Graham.
Low.
Ethan, Mo Alley Cox.
Low.
Connor, Anthony Miller.
Low.
Ethan, Brandon Ayuk.
Medium.
Medium. Okay. Connor, T. Higgins.
Medium.
Ethan, Greg Ward.
Low.
Connor, Hunter Renfro.
Low.
Low. Okay. Ethan, J.K. Dobbins.
Medium.
Okay. And Connor, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I'm just gonna say low because I read that there's now speculation as to whether he's gonna start in week 5 or Tua.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's new.
but
That's
I mean, but we know how fantasy football works, so that could change between now and Thursday. Nobody knows.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
I'm
so
just
low
saying,
on that.
in my moment now, I'm saying low.
I am so glad that you're the one that got Ryan Fitzpatrick because I didn't know about that. That's good news, dude. That or not good news. That's just good reporting. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Ethan, last one. MVS.
Low.
Hello.
And
Okay.
I concur.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's gonna wrap up the wrap up show. All right. So we appreciate you guys.
Well,
Hanging out. So we record the show, of course, late Monday night. You'll have it up on Tuesday morning. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday there. Of course, we do that so you can get a jump on the waiver wires. Talk to you about the events we just did, but keep an eye out because on Wednesday night Wednesday night we record the start sit, and so Thursday morning you'll have it. And of course, if you enjoyed the show, just a couple or actually 3 beefhead, generational beefheads just bantering about. Connor, what should they do? I
Did you unplug your microphone?
jump plug your microphone. Yeah,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's not that sensitive. Wow, that's good though. Subscribe, please. Subscribe, guys.
all right.
First
and,
try.
and Ethan, you want to thank our sponsors, man?
Yeah. Oh man, now I gotta do this. I don't have a script. So High Volume Radio, the
Volume Music Radio.
side, right? Yeah. So tune in there, check out some great music. They have fantastic music, especially if you are in H Town. But for anyone who wants to hear the sounds of H Town, and whoever wants to hear us, they can go as well. And then Sports Host app. That's the app. It's a community for lovers of sports to get to talk about sports and to have fantasy football leagues in which Connor beats you.
This week at least.
Awesome. All right. So keep an eye out, guys. So in a couple of days, you'll get our start sit show, which we're calling Fire or Ceasefire, or would you say Shoot or Ceasefire? Whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But any parting shots? We'll start with you, Connor. Start parting shots, sir.
I was wrong about Drake last week. Last week, my parting shot was Drake's gonna do good. And I'm this week. My parting shot is Joe Mixon's gonna do good again next week.
Okay.
I'm doubling
Ethan.
down.
Nice. Ethan, parting shot, sir.
We're getting to the point where we're getting enough data to know some things about teams and if you want to play the matchup. So just start paying attention to this stuff. Be aware of who you're playing and be aware of who the other team has, right? Because it's all really important information.
Mm-hmm. And I would always say, I'm going to reiterate this, and I think that it's always my go-to here, man. Guys, if you get a trade, you don't like it, don't ignore it. All right, have some respect, press reject. All right, come on, man. You're just being a jerk at this point. I mean, the guy really is not trying to mess you up. He's really thinking that you're gonna, trade, and he's trying to work with you. So
You said it very eloquently there, my friend.
thank you, sir.
Press reject, have respect.
Yes, absolutely, man. Have a little bit of respect. Yeah.
You
guess we need-
dingus.
Well, that's a Connor spin. That's a little Connor sauce on it. Yeah. Okay. So all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hope you guys look forward to seeing us in a couple of days. And remember, everyone, if fantasy football is in life, don't dream it, be it. Enjoy your week, guys. See y'all in a couple of days.
Bye-bye.